Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Vampyr. Wir machen weiter, wo wir aufgehört haben. Wir sind das letzte Mal beim Blumenköppel stehen geblieben. Da machen wir weiter. Beziehungsweise waren wir auf dem Weg nach Hamsburg, weil wir da wieder hin müssen. Warum auch immer. Ja. Aber wie gehen... Ja, das überlege ich ja gerade. Aber ich glaube, ich habe den Weg. Zumindest so ungefähr. Oh. Da ist ein Toter! Ich habe das Spiel nochmal auf leicht gestartet. Ja, auf leicht, aber... Weil mir das zumal zu schwer war. Das war mir zu lästig. Kannst du mir... Ja, und immerhin gebe ich es zu. Aha, Arschgeige. Also, nein, das habe ich nicht. Ich habe nur gesagt, ich habe es auf leicht gemacht. Alter. Nee, ich laufe falsch. Gute Nacht. Ich habe meinen Kaffee schon.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You, I remember you.
Kurzküche. Hä, was bist denn du?
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature.
Creature!
What are you?
I am the Lamb. You are our champion.
Tell me what you are.
I am the whitened bones and blackened soil. The land made blood coursing through thy veins.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
My champion, defeat the secret of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave.
So, ich gehe mir jetzt noch kurz das Essen holen.
So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Ich habe mir was zu essen geholt. Was soll ich denn? Das ist ein Apfel, siehst du das? Apfel. Weil ich mir die Mühe dafür machen würde. Was bist du? Wer bist du?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, homebroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to feel, not death itself.
Ja, natürlich.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I had to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Was tut sie so?
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for them. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Ich habe noch ein Messer abgelegt.
Are you afraid
Messer.
or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why
Ein
should
bisschen,
I?
Alter.
These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay.
Have we met before?
I don't think so. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Was ist hier was?
It never ceases to amaze me how you... Good evening,
Was denn?
Dr. Reed.
Nee.
Goodbye, Mr.
Never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead...
So. Normalerweise ja. Nee. Haben wir nix. Was ist denn hier passiert?
Good evening, Nurse Brett.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No, I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but well, maybe it was him.
How are things here?
Not good.
Redest du von dem, was ich denke, wovon du redest?
Invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially
Okay.
from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor.
Ja,
These last
genau.
few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Ach, guck mal, Sleep. Okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call.
Niemand hat einen Schlüpfer an, gerade.
Goodbye.
Ich wollte dich gar nicht. Naja, natürlich. Nein. Oh, Level da vorne, nee. Warum perverse? Ich hab doch gar nichts gemacht. Also. Puh. Mit wem so. Triff Edgar. Swansea. Swansea. Swansea, wir müssen mit dir reden. I'm talking with you. Ich geh mal mein Melli hier gerade meinen Apfel spenden.
Got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCann, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations.
Ja, da.
I can flare the scent of them on. You can't hide from the god.
Mit dir darüber reden, wo der abfliegt, oder was?
Leave him, Jonathan.
Oder was?
This is sacred ground. Neutral territory.
Ist das? Was habe ich verpasst?
And I just had the carpet cleaned.
Was hast du gemacht? Was habe ich verpasst? Warum hast du nichts gemacht?
Sacred stone, this is very
Mann, der ist bei der ganzen Tag arbeiten und du machst hier nichts im Haus. Was ist da los, Herr? Furchtbar.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Are you worried about the situation or your reputation? Now is not the time to think of oneself.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're
Nothing.
capable of, Jonathan.
Very well.
Ja, die Wachen, die
I
sind...
brought Mr. Hampton here.
Nothing.
I will put an end to this.
Nothing. Was soll ich denn machen? Wo muss ich denn hin? Oh, in die Docks. Auch noch so weit. Scheiße.
Sean
Ja, ja.
Hampton lives
Boah,
and
warum
breathes
zum Au-
for the well-being of his
Kannst du anlassen, ja.
flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Bis gleich. Also gründlich putzen tut sie ja irgendwie nett. Die verschmiert die ganze Scheiße irgendwie nur. Ja, dann genau noch reintreten. Ach, schon fertig oder was? Will ich Pause machen? Hallo? Da ist doch nicht mal die Hälfte weg, Fra.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Die wollte ich gar nicht. Ich wollte die da.
Oh,
Everything died.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Hallierlichen.
What do you know of Ascalon?
Ich brauche meine
I
Brille,
was
ne?
threatened by a creature, a vampire.
Die hat mein Hund aber vorhin voll gesabbert.
stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Well, alright.
Have you...
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital.
Wattle.
How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols, or trying to end...
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes. It has
But
happened
yes.
to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Okay. Okay. Warum habe ich da überhaupt ein Ding? Ich will ihn entfernen. So. Dann habe ich diese dämliche Markierung nämlich nicht mehr da. Was machen denn unsere Bürger? Der städtische Horror wie vorher. Okay. Dann würde ich sagen, wandern wir mal. Up this view, das ist wieder lang wandern. I don't know. But I think we do it. Nee.
It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
We do the Lord's work. I'll take it. Away with you.
Oh.
Have faith, brothers. Take a breath.
Was? Ich hab gedacht, ich gehe jetzt da.
It's a leech. Kill it. Over there. There's one of them vermin.
Es wird.
Leech spotted. Watch out, boys.
Oh, das ist eine blöde Sau. Oh. Limehouse Dog.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Entschuldigung.
And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby.
Booth.
Ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
Ich weiß noch nicht, ob er mir jetzt schon auf den Sack geht oder.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that. So what? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot boys work for me.
The
All
Wet
of
Boot
them.
Boy.
The situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Aha. Natürlich, nur wegen
Do
dir.
you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Dickvieh. Dickpi. Wir haben nichts gesagt. Ich muss zwar nicht hin, aber egal. Ich nehme alles mit, was ich kriegen kann. Wie ein Chilling. Wie ein Chilling. Hallihallöchen und herzlich willkommen. Aber warum sollte man den entführen?
It's locked.
Der hat doch einen Patienten abgemurkst. Meinen Patienten wohl bemerkt. Ich hasse es, wenn man meinen Patienten abmurkst, ohne Grund. Ich meine, die Frau war alt, aber trotzdem. Finde ich trotzdem nicht in Ordnung. Arschgeigen. Ich würde gern mit ihm reden. Nur reden. Schlagen können wir später. Bist du auch taubstumm?
Good evening, miss.
Who are you? What?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital.
Pembroke.
Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Ich wollte gerade sagen.
So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Mal schauen, wenn du was Schönes hast, eventuell.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You're quite blunt.
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace it.
Ah, das ist mein Brief. Ich habe schon überlegt, was das ist, aber das ist mein Brief.
What can
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Ich bestimmt.
you sound?
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Ich glaube, tiefer geht's nicht mehr.
Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Really?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
Mhm. Warte mal, ich will erstmal
As
handeln.
long as you have
Hä, krieg ich denn Geld? Chill mal. Komm. Ich will gar nichts behandeln. Warum soll ich... Nein, ich will handeln. Nicht behandeln, handeln.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
hello.
Can I see what you have to
As long as you have
Okay, deine Mandeln. Welche Mandeln will ich denn
I'll show you all I
sonst?
have.
Ja, ja.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint. I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say.
Nee, nee.
Well, I suppose
Das weiß ich
it's
noch gar nicht,
good
was ich
news
von
for
ihm
the
will.
homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Ich wollte eigentlich nur von ihr wissen, wo Mr. Tom ist. Tom. Da ist eine Ratte. Tommy. Nein, Tommy. Nee, Tommy hört sich doof an.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fisher.
Das ist nicht Tom. Ich brauch Tom.
What can you tell me?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Der mag keine
Are you
Menschen.
thinking about someone in particular?
No? Hate them. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Kneipe, wir brauchen eine Kneipe. Okay.
Any
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone
Ja,
else
lass es
then.
klingeln.
I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly.
Nee,
Goodbye, Mr. Fish.
nee. Das ist kein Dickpick. Weil das meine Spiele-App ist. Ich hab so nebenbei drauf geguckt. Ja, meine Heyday-App. Heyday, das ist so eine Pharma-App. Aber hier waren wir doch schon. Ja, wir waren nur noch ganz am Anfang. Oh. Gibt's da nicht so ein Lied, Bad Segeberg? Segeberg. Weißt du denn, was das ist? Nee, nee. Da gibt's so ein Lied, Bad Segeberg, Bad Segeberg.
It's locked, all right.
Blutige Halskette von Samuel für meine geliebte Mutter.
From Seymour to my beloved mother Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard.
Neverster. Never ever. Never ever. Bei never ever. Sicher. Bist du sicher? Mhm. Oh, Sabrina. Oh, it's doch Tom.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
Aber das ist doch Tom. Hallo.
A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes at a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence.
Nee, ist nicht Tom. Okay.
Teeth, claws, murders by night. Your sewer.
Da steht Tom. Tom! So, damit müssen wir ein Part beenden. Lasst uns lieber da liken, aber oder Kommentar. Bis zum nächsten Mal.